Have you ever wondered, can a dog suffer emotional pain just like we do? We often think dogs are the happiest beings alive, always wagging their tails, always loving and forgiving unconditionally. But the truth is, behind those bright eyes, behind every nuzzle against your leg, there lies a heart that feels joy, pain, loneliness, and sometimes disappointment. Dogs don't cry like we do, but they feel it when they're forgotten. They can't speak words of reproach, but their lowered gaze, a tail that stops wagging, all becomes silent language of sadness. And the saddest part is most of what wounds them emotionally comes from the very people who love them the most, us. No one ever intends to hurt their dog. We simply don't realize. Seemingly harmless acts, ignoring them when they want attention, scolding them when we're tired, leaving them alone for too long, all leave tiny scars on their hearts. If you understood that, maybe you'd look into their eyes differently, more warmly, more compassionately, more gently. In this piece, we'll explore 7 common habits that most pet owners inadvertently fall into, small things that in silence wound your dog's spirit. And above all, you'll learn how to make that little heart feel loved, safe, and happy as it always deserves. 1. When you ignore your dog. Maybe you've seen this. Your dog approaches, eyes bright, tail gently wagging, holding its favorite toy. It just wants you to notice, to play with it a little, or simply rest your hand on its head to know you're still there. But you're busy scrolling your phone, checking the news, working on your computer. And so the little dog quietly walks away, lies down in a corner, gaze lowered, waiting in silence. To you, that's just a passing moment, but to them, it's a small scar on the heart. Dogs live through connection. You are their world, the one they wait for, trust and love unconditionally. When you become indifferent, even for a few minutes, they don't comprehend. Owner is busy, they feel I no longer matter. According to animal cognition, dogs can read their owner's emotions through eye contact and tone of voice, and repeated indifference may cause them to reduce attempts to seek attention. Some may stop coming close, stop nudging your hand the way they used to. They still love you. They've just learned to stay quiet so as not to be hurt again. So the next time your dog approaches, pause even for a moment, place a hand on its head, smile or whisper, "Good boy." You might be surprised how vigorously its little tail wags, how its eyes brighten, just from a simple moment of attention. To you it's small, but to them it's everything. Because loving a dog isn't in expensive toys or long trips. It's in the moments you look into their eyes and they know I am still loved. 2. Overly scolding them. Every dog owner has moments of impatience. The favorite shoes are chewed, the new rug is stained, the sofa is muddy after a walk. You get angry and the instinctive scolding comes, "No bad dog." But have you ever noticed their eyes afterward? The gaze drops, ears flatten back, the tail that once wagged happily now tucks between their legs. In that moment, they don't understand why you're angry. They only know that the person they love most has become frightening. Dogs don't understand human language word for word. What they register is tone and energy. When you yell, they don't process "I'm wrong." They hear anger and feel fear, that fear that breaks down the trust between you and them. A study at the University of Lincoln, UK, found that dogs regularly scolded or trained through fear had stress hormone levels 30% higher than those taught with calm tone and positive reinforcement. Every time you shout, their body truly enters a stress state, heart racing, rapid breath, tense muscles. Dogs don't want to disappoint you. They just don't yet know what you expect. When you teach patiently and calmly, they learn far faster. For example, if the dog chews your shoe, gently remove it, offer the favorite toy instead, and say "Good boy" when they chew the correct object. A small act like this helps them understand your expectation without fear. Scolding may briefly relieve your frustration, but it sows confusion in your dog. They don't understand error, only that owner is angry, so I'm unloved. And nothing is more heartbreaking to a dog than beginning to fear the one they trust most. 3. When you don't give them enough exercise or mental stimulation. There are days you go out early and return late, exhausted, just wanting to lie down. Your dog bounds out to greet you, tail wagging, eyes eager, but you only pat its head gently and say, "Maybe later, I'm just too tired today." It still smiles through its eyes, lies quietly in a corner, waiting patiently. But if you watch day by day, that gaze gets a little duller. Dogs need more than just food and rest. They need to live by instinct to run, sniff, explore, play with you. Dogs kept in small spaces, deprived of sufficient exercise, gradually become sad, bored, and agitated. Some begin chewing items, barking without reason, or even lying listlessly, losing interest in the world. It's not because they are bad, it's their cry for help in the only way they know. The American Veterinary Medical Association, AVMA, notes that dogs walked at least 30 minutes daily show 40% lower levels of stress and destructive behavior. Exercise doesn't just keep their body healthy, it frees their mind. It releases pent-up energy, reduces anxiety, and strengthens your bond with every step and glance. And their mind also needs nourishment. Simple games like hiding, treats for them to find, teaching new commands, or even the which hand has the treat game bring immense joy. Each solved puzzle releases dopamine, the reward hormone, helping them feel proud and useful. Remember, for a dog, greatest happiness isn't gourmet food or a plush bed, it's being alive and playing beside you. Even a stroll in the park or a few minutes of running around is their whole world. Because a sad dog never says "I'm lonely," it just watches you quietly and waits. 4. When you leave them alone. Too long. In the morning, you hurriedly grab your coat keys, close the door. Just another workday. But to the dog behind that door, the world suddenly feels hollow. It rushes to the door, paws raised, ears perked at your footsteps, fading. When the car starts, it still won't move. It waits, doesn't know. For how long only knows that when the door opens again, the one it loves most will come back. To them, time is not like ours. An hour can feel like a day like eternity. In that silence, the only thing they can do is wait for you. Some sit quietly by the window. Others scratch the door, then lie down on the floor, nose pressed against the spot you last stood, clinging to your scent. According to the American Kennel Club, dogs left alone too long often develop separation anxiety. They bark, destroy things, even soil the house, not out of mischief, but out of fear. The fear of being abandoned, the fear of not knowing whether you will return. Of course, everyone has to work, has to be busy. Dogs understand that more than we think. They don't blame you, they just miss you. But you can soften that waiting. Leave behind comforting items, your old shirt, a familiar blanket, or play soft background music. If possible, ask someone to drop by, walk, or play with them a few minutes. And when you return, don't scold them for being overexcited. Kneel down, place a hand on their head, let them know everything's okay, now we're together again. To you, it's just the end of the day. To them, it's the most joyful moment in the world. Because during those long hours of waiting, you are all they think about. 5. When you don't let them live by their natural instincts. We love dogs, care for them, feed them, bathe them, teach them. But sometimes that love becomes invisible chains. We forget that before, pet a dog is a creature of nature, born to sniff, run, bark, dig, and explore the world with every sense. When you walk your dog and constantly tug the leash whenever it stops to sniff a tree, do you realize you're cutting off a core joy of theirs? To you, it's just a tree. But to a dog, it's a whole scent newspaper, telling stories, who passed by, what animal was nearby, even the mood of the neighbor's dog. It's how they read their world, a language only they understand. Similarly, when you forbid barking, scold them for digging up soil or chasing a bird, you confuse instinct with wrongdoing. Dogs don't know you want silence, they're simply doing what thousands of years of evolution taught them: protect, explore, and show joy. A study in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior says that excessively restraining natural behaviors doubles the risk of anxiety and destructive behavior compared with dogs allowed safe and moderate freedom in their environment. They need to be a dog, as simple as that. Try once to loosen the leash in a safe area. Let them run across grass, sniff the breeze, dig a little, bark freely. Watch how their ears perk, tail wags, hard eyes sparkle. That's the face of a happy heart. True love isn't about holding tight, it's about letting them be themselves. Sometimes the happiest thing you can do for your dog isn't buy a new toy. It's stand quietly and watch them feel free in the wind. 6. When you forget to praise them. Dogs don't need you to say, "I love you" each day. For them, love lives in your tone, your eyes, the little praises you share from your heart. A good boy. Just two simple words, but for a dog that can be the whole sky. Yet in our busy lives, we often focus on their mistakes. When the dog messes up, we scold. When they do right, we stay silent. Over time, the dog learns something heart-wrenching. When I'm good, nobody notices. Only when I mess up, they look my way. And so tail wagging, Slow's eyes lose their sparkle. The American Veterinary Behavior Association notes that dogs praised frequently learn twice as fast as ones only reprimanded. Praise isn't just reward, it's the language of love and recognition. Dogs live to make you happy. They sense the energy in your voice, remember every moment of praise, and repeat good behaviors just to see you smile. Imagine one evening you watch TV, your dog lies quietly beside you. If you rest a hand on its head and say, "Good girl," you'll see the light return to its eyes instantly. Tail wags a little, ears relax as if it's just received the most precious gift. To you, it's passing words. To them, it's proof they're doing well, that they are loved, that they still make you happy. Don't let your silence cause them to doubt your love. Sometimes a gentle word of praise is all it takes to warm that loyal heart. 7. When you compare them with other dogs, you see how well someone else's dog behaves. That dog can shake, roll over. Why is mine slower? These statements may sound harmless, fleeting, but to that heart always turned toward you, they carry a silent sadness. Dogs don't understand human speech, but they feel emotional energy in every breath, every look. When you feel disappointed, they feel it. When you're frustrated, they sense that too. What wounds them most isn't your scolding, it's the sad look on your face when you compare them to another. Every dog is an individual with its own personality, rhythm, and way of loving. Some learn quickly, others more slowly, but some will quietly stay by your side when you're fatigued or place their head in your lap when you are low. They may not perform tricks, but they love you in the most genuine way a living being can. A study at Emory University found that dogs' brain regions respond more strongly not to treats but to their owners' voices using approving tone. In other words, what makes dogs happiest is not treats or tricks, it's knowing you're pleased with them. So don't compare. Don't let love be measured by things they can't understand. Instead of focusing on what they haven't done, look at what they always do. Loyal, patient, loving you every single day. Each time you gaze into their eyes, remember, to you, they may be just a dog, but to them, you are their entire world. When you look over these 7 things, ignoring scolding, leaving alone, withholding exercise, restraining natural impulses, forgetting praise and comparisons, you'll realize something simple. They all stem from emotional misunderstanding. Dogs don't need a perfect life. They just need to be seen, heard, and loved with your patience. They don't care if you're rich or poor, busy or idle, successful or not. To them, you are the only one worth loving, worth waiting for, worth loyalty. So if today you realize you've hurt them unwittingly, don't feel guilt. Just understand and choose to change. That little heart has already forgiven. Because with a dog, love doesn't require apology. Only a gentle touch, a kind look, and a tail wagging in return. Take a few minutes today to sit beside them, say good boy, good girl. Stroke that soft fur and feel their warm breath pressed against your hand. Because in that moment you will understand the truest love in the world doesn't come from words, but from a wagging tail.